Hey booktubers, welcome back to my channel. It is Top 5 Wednesday time once again. Top 5 Wednesdays was created by GingerReadsLainey, so I will leave a link to her channel as well as the Goodreads Group page in the drop-down box. This week's topic is Top 5 Most Anticipated Pre-Orders for the rest of the year, so I'm just going to get into my list with number 5, and it is Walk Through Fire by Kristen Ashley. This will be book 4 in her Chaos Motorcycle Club series. So book 1 I liked. Book 3 I really liked. Book 2 was pretty much a train wreck. So I'm kind of hoping that every other book doesn't suck in this series, because that would be really sad. I actually just finished the third book in the series, which is called Ride Steady, and it will probably be in my top 10 favorite books of the year. And my number 4 pick is Winter by Marissa Mayer. I absolutely freaking love the Lunar Chronicles. I've kind of drifted away from the YA genre over the last year, but the Lunar Chronicles is definitely one of the YA series that I follow very vigilantly, and I am super excited. I love her writing, and I just adore the mixture of sci-fi and fairy tales, and I think she does it brilliantly, so I can't wait to read that book. My number 3 pick is Nevermore by Rob Thurman. This will be book 10 in her Cal Leandros urban legend / dark and twisty series, and I don't pimp this series out nearly enough on my channel. I think I've only mentioned it maybe a handful of times, but it really is fantastic, and it's probably second to the Harry Dresden series as my favorite adult urban fantasy / fantasy series that I am reading. And I anticipate a new Rob Thurman book every year, kind of like a child anticipates Christmas. Now, we get to my 2 most anticipated books, and this book, I feel like, my number 2 pick, I feel like I have been waiting 10 years for this book to come out. In reality, it's probably been about 3, between 3 and 4 I've waited, and considering that book 2 ended on a massive cliffhanger, this woman just likes torturing her fans, I have decided. And it is Oblivion by Kelly Cray. This will be the 3rd and last book in her Nevermore series, and I freaking love this series. It is so unique, so beautifully put together. I love how she integrates the works of Edgar Allan Poe into this incredibly dark, but not so dark as to be depressing story of these 2 teenagers who seem complete opposites, but somehow find ways to connect to each other. And it features one of the most amazingly well done groups of sort of like monsters I've ever read about, and they're called Nox. And there's a character called Pinfeathers who I love so much and who basically broke my heart, ripped it out, and ate it for dinner at the end of the last book. But at the end of July, hopefully, if there's not another delay, I will have Oblivion in my little greedy hands, and I will just sob uncontrollably when I'm done with it, because it's over, and who knows how long it'll take her to put out another book. But for now, I cannot wait to get my hands on Oblivion. Now, we get to my most anticipated book, and technically, it's not really being released in 2015. But it is coming out at the very beginning of January, so it kind of fits in. And besides, if I'm going to do a list of books that I'm most anticipating, there's no way I could not mention this book, because I don't think there's ever been a book that I have wanted more in my entire life than this one. And it is Morning Star by Pierce Brown, the 3rd book in the Red Rising series. I cannot tell you how much I want to read this book. To give you a little bit of an indication, I requested off the 2 days after this book is released, so I will have no distractions when I read this book. That's how desperately I need it. It ended on probably what was one of the most gut-wrenching, horrible, brutal cliffhangers I've ever read in a book, and it really destroyed me. And I need answers, and I need more of this series, and of Darrow, and of Pierce Brown's hotness that just radiates from the page. So, yes, it might not be technically coming out before the end of the year, but gosh darn it, I want it now. So there you have it, you guys. Those are my top 5 most anticipated pre-orders of the rest of 2015, kind of. And until next time, you guys, I will see you later, and as always, happy reading.